Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 38.
38.
Oh, he did Spanish again. Back to the Spanish of the Calypso Cigar Review podcast, as always, at the lovely Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge at Richardson, Texas. And today...
in Richardson, Texas, too.
Same thing, dick. And today, special day, we're actually at an event, if you can't tell from the crush talk in the background there, to use a term from an 80s song. A Wang Chung song at that.
Wang Chung song.
Yeah.
Well, everybody is Wang Chunging tonight.
Yes, everybody is Wang Chunging tonight. So we're at the La Palina event, and they're out here, just yucking it up with us. And we've actually got some home brewers out here as well. Who do we have out here today, Randy?
KBCB, which stands for Noels Brothers Craft Brewery. Why is that word hard to say? But it is. And we got our buddies from Four Bullets back as well.
Brewery is it's easy to say when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Drunk, it's easier to say brewery.
When you're sober, it's like brew.
Yeah. It's like judicial system. It's kind of hard. Yeah.
It really isn't anything like judicial system. But I was being nice and agreeing.
Well, it's hard to say judicial system.
Yeah.
It's like you sound like you're drunk when you say judicial.
Yeah.
Judicial system.
Yeah. Mike's wife couldn't say cinnamon.
Cinnamon? What'd she say? Cinnamon. Cinnamon?
Yeah.
That's funny. My daughter says, she says some words backwards, and one of them's real cute, and we finally corrected her on it enough that she's not doing it anymore, and it's sad when that happens, when you have that funny word that they say, and then they stop saying it.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Calipitter instead of caterpillar.
Calipitter. Oh, man, that's funny.
So right now we're smoking a La Palina cigar, but we're smoking one we smoked before. This is the La Palina Classic. Right. We did a review on this previously, and we all liked it.
Yeah, we did it on Lancero.
This is a different size. This is the Robusto?
Yes, the Robusto.
Yes, okay. And similar to the Lancero, this one doesn't have as much kick, I think, as the Lancero did, but it does have that nutty, almondy smoothness to it.
Yes.
Very tasty.
It's a Brazilian Habano wrapper.
Yep. And we're going to be smoking a Kill Bill in a little bit here. Kill Bill 1 or Kill Bill 2?
2.
One of those.
It's bigger.
Okay.
It's longer.
It's longer but smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that cigar. It's a great cigar. I've had that cigar multiple times, and it was a fave of mine for a while. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that cigar.
You gave me one.
I did.
I
did.
It's a nice smoke.
In fact, I did.
In fact, you did. One of the few times you did something nice. Nice.
Oh, come on! I've done
nice.
I've done nice things for you all the time. How many cigars have I given you?
Really.
Shut up! Shut your face!
Really.
Shut your face! I made you watch a great movie this week.
Oh, yeah, I'm not talking to you anymore. This is going to be a quiet podcast.
Yeah, for those that like the creature feature segment, this is one that's going to be a fight.
Yes, I'm going to kick his ass if he ever recommend. You don't get to recommend movies.
Whatever, shut up.
You have to go a whole month without recommending the movie. Good Lord,
whatever.
It's terrible.
I expected it to be fun, but it was just boring and depressing. But you'll find that out in the second segment.
Yes,
not right now, because I already have given away too much.
We're teasing. We're teasing the second segment.
Exactly.
You watched anything this week?
No, not really. I haven't had my. Usually in October I watch a lot of horror flicks, and I just haven't had the time. Been busy with work and dealing with kids in school and stuff like that. So yeah, I haven't really had time to watch anything. You?
Not really either. This week has been, once again during football season, it's hard. Oh yeah, I did. We talked about it, but we didn't talk about it on the podcast. But I thought, okay. I watched this movie called Dadgummit. What the heck?
It's called Dadgummit?
Do Not Disturb.
Do Not Disturb.
Do Not Disturb.
All right.
And it had the guy, I think Stephen Jeffries is his name. The only thing I'd ever seen him in was he was the friend of the neighbor in Fright Night.
Right,
Brewster. He had that weird noise.
The old Fright Night.
Yeah,
not the new crappy
original one. Yes. Anyway, who you probably know because he later went on to do gay porn. But
Dick. No, I did hear about that.
I IMDb'd him, so I was like, what did he ever do after Fright Night? And apparently
what was
in the
his
90s,
character in Fright Night? It was a weird name. It was like I'm gonna look it up.
Evil.
He was evil in Fright Night. That's right. Yeah.
Evil. And so he did gay porn in the 90s.
Wow.
But anyway,
how do you come back from that and do movies again?
I don't know.
That's weird.
It's weird. Anyway, and I also had a girl named Tiffany Shepis. She's a trauma kind of chick. But this wasn't a trauma kind of movie. It was actually a solid movie. He's a screenwriter who holds himself up in a seedy hotel. And apparently he was very successful because his agent's on his ass to get her a new script so she can send it to the studio. But he's pissed off about some girl that got killed a couple of years ago. So he just decides to kill random people just for whatever reason.
Nice.
Really good.
Probably the reason was because he had to do gay porn in the 90s.
Yes,
that was probably the reason.
So decent little indie flick. I wouldn't recommend it necessarily unless you like indie horror flicks, but you would probably enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the rest of our listeners, I don't know. I'm not giving it a full thumbs up on it.
Yeah, if it's a halfway thumbs up. If it's a flaccid thumbs up, I will pass on the previous gay porn movie guy.
I knew you'd work that in there when I mentioned gay porn. You'd have to bring up something.
Yeah, whatever. Dick.
Yeah, don't bring up dick during gay porn talk.
Right, right.
Don't put that on our keywords on YouTube. Gay porn.
Gay porn, yeah. No, I will refrain from doing that. Yeah,
Thank you, please.
Hopefully that'll be the only time we ever
That's
mention
probably
that
the last time we will
ever in the
mention it
podcast.
again.
Yeah, no
I just
more.
thought it was weird that somebody would go from.
That is pretty weird. I mean, it's it's not like he was ever really a big star, but he was kind of a.
But apparently he
did
very
a couple
respected
things
in the theater before he went to gay porn.
That's odd. He had to be doing some serious drugs or something for that to happen.
bad.
There has to be some kind of story there.
Okay, end of gay porn talk.
Okay,
Starts now.
cool. So so what have you smoked this week? Did you smoke anything new? Or anything different that you went out?
We both smoked something new.
Yes, we did. I don't know how to say it, so you have to say it.
La Hoja, which means the leaf.
Okay.
And we smoked
I smoked the Toro, and you smoked the
Torpedo.
Torpedo.
And it's their Maduro line, and I can't remember what it's called. And I probably need to know what they're called.
I would think you would need to learn that, being that you work in the industry and other issues as well. But it was a tasty smoke, man.
Very nice.
I smoked. I smoked that this week. I went out and I smoked that La Estrella Cubana again because those are cheap and easy, and I can toss them if I don't finish it. No big deal.
Right.
It's one of those good everyday kind of whatever smokes. I smoked another one of the Little Monsters. I smoked the Little Wolfie.
The Wolfie?
The Wolfie, which was very good. I still liked it. I liked it when I smoked it the first time, and I still liked it. It was good. And I've got 3 more to go before the end of October, so I'll get those in this week as well. And I smoked a couple of Hoya de Nicaraguas. I had an old, had like a couple of years on it. It was a dark Corojo, the big fat one, whatever that was. The short little 4x6 60?
Yeah.
4x60? Something like that?
Is it Basil?
Yeah, really very mild with 2 years on it.
El Marquillo, I think is what it's called. Yeah.
It was very mild with 2 years on it. I was very, very surprised.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then I had an Antonio 1970 Robusto, which was great, very strong. And I had the Rosalones again, which is the new one that just came out. We had it previously, but it wasn't ready to be smoked. And after smoking it the second time, after giving it a good month, it was better. But that was a cigar that was a European market cigar, and you can tell because it doesn't have the same flavor profile that we're used to over here. It's very kind of tea leafy and
Did you give me one of those?
I did, yeah. We both kind of were like, on it. It wasn't great.
But that was right off the truck, right?
Yeah, right off the truck, yeah. It's better with some age on it, with I say age, not age. It's better with it having time to acclimate.
Rest.
Yeah. But it's I still will take the Dark Corojo any day.
Yep.
Out of the whole Hoya de Nicaragua line, Dark Corojo is my favorite.
Although
Antonio 1970 is still pretty darn good.
Then Antonio Lancero.
Yeah, that's an ass kicker, man. It's so good.
I wish they'd do the Dark Corojo in a Lancero. That would be so badass.
I think people's heads would explode if they did that.
Yes, I know.
Yep.
And Jose Blanco's not working there anymore, so we can't contact him and say, make a Lancero.
Yeah, he needs to come up with whatever he comes up with needs to be similar to the Dark Corojo, but more ass kickery if possible.
And he wasn't the one that designed the Dark Corojo.
No.
But I bet he had something to do with making it in that Telegrosso size.
Yeah, probably.
That was the size.
He's a big fan of the Lanceros and the Coronas, so I'm sure he probably had something to do with that.
And when you talked to him, didn't he tell you he loved that cigar, even though he wasn't?
Yeah, he's a big fan of that cigar. He loves the Dark Corojo. Yeah. He said it way cooler than I did.
Dark Corojo.
Like Pedro.
Corojo.
Yeah, I want to be able to talk like that. You know, a lot of people wish they could had an English accent or a French accent or something. I want to have that good, rich, rolling your R's kind of thing.
Yep.
Latin.
The Antonio Banderas.
Yes.
Accent.
Yes. That would be
Girls
cool.
dig that stuff.
Huh?
Girls dig that stuff.
Yeah, they do.
That and the Frenchy French.
It's a lot better than that Texas drawl thing people have.
Most things are better than the Texas draw.
Yes. Except for Boston. Boston is not better.
Yeah, Boston's not better there. You want a cigar?
Park the car in the yard.
Park the car in the yard. Yeah, I'll pass on that one too. That was, oh man, I got a story to tell about that. I worked for Converse for a little bit, and I got to go to Boston to where they make the shoes, the headquarters. And man, everybody over there talks that Boston accent. They're talking like that, and And one of the first people I met there was like one of the execs, and she was just this gorgeous 6 foot tall, blonde, beautiful girl. Just everything was in the right place. It was like, holy crap, who is that? Like, is she a model? She's like, no, she's one of the execs. I'm like, oh my god, she's gorgeous. She's like, yeah, I know, she's great. And she's the link to introduce to her. And she's like, hi, I'm Carolyn from the Bois. I'm like, oh, just like totally just. It's like any kind of it's like just total shrinkage. Yeah, total shrinkage. It's like, oh god, don't talk now. I just wanted to dub her with Glenn Close's voice, like they did Andy McDowell and Tarzan. It was horrible.
That's funny.
It was just so. Yeah. It was like, just such a wreck, man.
And we're not being offensive to our Boston.
Yes, we are.
They can make fun of our Texas accent.
Oh, yeah. Well, they thought I had a funny accent. I'm like, I don't even say... Because I said y'all. That's the only thing I said was y'all. Like, oh, you said y'all. He's from Texas. I'm like, yeah, I'm not talking like a Texas guy, though. It's like they expected me to.
That's funny.
They all ask, like, oh, you got boots? Where's your hat? I'm like, what? It's not...
I worked for a Philly cheesesteak company right after high school. They were opening a new franchise in Richmond, Virginia. Actually, it was a mall was opening, too. So it's just a major grand opening. And I had just gotten out of high school, so I had a diction teacher in the choir.
Okay.
So my diction was really good right after high school. And so I'm up here in Richmond. You're from Dallas? You don't sound like you're from Texas. You don't sound it at all. Now, as age has happened, I do sound a little bit more. I'm not as good, but I have had people still, when I'm out of town, go, you don't sound like you're from Texas.
Yeah, I get that all the time. When I was traveling, when I worked in Maryland and stuff, everybody was like... I traveled for a while with one company, and everywhere I'd go, I told them from Texas. Like, no, you're not. Like, yeah. Every time I meet someone from Texas, they're like, y'all, Texas.
Nah, they're getting it from TV.
Yeah, they are.
Movies.
They are. It's the stereotype that's not true.
I hear it every day, and I hear maybe one or two people a day that talks like that.
But yet, everybody that gets on the national news that's from Texas
does talk like that. It's weird.
It's like they wait for they're like, where are you from? I'm from Texas. No, you're not. Where's the accent? I'm from Texas. Okay, well, you come over here. You're going to get on TV.
Yeah, exactly. And that TV show Dallas in the 70s was really bad about it. But the new one is a lot better. You don't hear that fake Texas accent on the new Dallas. So.
Yeah, I never watched it. I don't know.
It's good.
That's a chick show, man.
No, it's not.
That is a chick show.
Larry Hagman was a badass.
That is a soap opera at night.
Yes, but it's about our town. It's about our town, and it had the meanest, most ruthless guy in the history of TV on it.
Did he kill anybody?
Yes.
No, he did.
Yes, he did.
Did he really?
He had him killed.
Had him killed. Not the same.
He had a great line in the new season. After he was warning this guy and saying, he goes, you can either be my friend or my enemy. My friends are in the State House. My enemies are going to be harder to find. Like,
wow.
What a great line.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I just never watched it. It was...
I watched it as a kid.
I didn't watch it either. My parents watched it, but I was like, I'm outside, whatever, I don't care. They watched
I watched it as a kid because of Victoria Principal.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times she'd be in a swimsuit.
I remember was it Dynasty with the girl fight?
Yes, I hated Dynasty.
Yeah, I watched that one just because of the girl fight.
Oh, the fight with the Joan Collins and Linda Evans or whatever.
Rolling around in the mud and stuff, yeah.
That was funny.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't watch any of the nighttime soaps except Dallas.
Yeah, no, that wasn't my deal, man. I was
my mom watched all of them. Knots Landing, Falcon Crest.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Nah, that's not for me. I watch modern soap operas like Walking Dead and Breaking Bad. Those are my soap operas.
They are soap operas, too, though.
They basically are. I mean, if you think about it, all of it is. It's carrying on the same characters, and, same crap happens in those that happens on the soap operas. Just more violence and blood and stuff. And zombies.
Man, we can cover more topics in 5 minutes. Right. We just jump all over topic.
This is a good cigar, though, man. It's totally different than the Lancero.
In the bigger ring gauge, absolutely.
I dig it in the bigger ring gauge.
And we're pairing. We might as well mention some of the brews that are here tonight. Are you drinking that chocolate stout?
Yeah, I'm drinking their breakfast. It's called the Breakfast Stout.
Nice.
And it's like a very coffee. It's very coffee tasting.
I'm getting a lot of coffee.
Yep. Now the brewmaster said that I'm going to call him a brewmaster because it sounds cool. Mm-hmm. He said that the chocolate it's still kind of young, and as it ages a little bit, and they're going to age it in whiskey barrels.
Yeah.
As it ages, the chocolate's going to come out, and it's going to be more prominent. So it's going to be very chocolatey and coffee, which sounds awesome. I'd love to try some later when it's aged.
We're going to have to. We're going to try in the last segment to get them on and interview them.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah. Scott Noels is one of the owners, and he's been a long-time customer here at the store. I mean, long time.
You guys got some talented customers, man, between him and
Jeff and Drew
and me. I mean,
Pedro,
just awesome guys.
You, me.
Yep.
Although I'm not a customer. but I'm pretty fucking talented.
You were.
Yes, I was.
Previously a customer.
Yes, I was.
Yep.
And we're leaving out a few. I mean, geez.
Yep.
I've thought about that before. We really are just loaded with talented people around here.
I think it's the area. Texas is awesome. We have awesome people.
Well, there's a lot of people in Texas, therefore there's going to be a lot of talented people in Texas.
True. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut this segment off at the heels here. And,
wait a minute, I wanted to talk.
No, we're good.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Never mind.
Hi, this is Todd Dance with Esteban Carrera Cigars, and you're listening to Randy and Brandon on the Calypso Cigar Review Show.
All right, everybody, we're back for segment 2 of today's podcast, episode 38. We are at the La Palina event, and we have now switched from the La Palina Classic to the La Palina Kill Bill 2.
Kill Bill 2.
It is delicious.
It really is.
Yep.
Cold draw was awesome. This is a 6x40, so it's kind of a short Lancero.
Yep, and it is. I've had quite a few of these in my time, and I'm a big fan of them. Good little ass kicker of a cigar. For those that like a lot of flavor and a lot of body in their cigars.
Immediate spice.
Yeah, very good stuff. And as always, we're at the Calypso Cigar Shop and Lounge in Richardson, Texas, and we've got it's that time, isn't it? I think it's that time.
It is that time.
All right, it's time for the Esteban Carreras Creature Feature, sponsored by the Chupacabra. The Creature Feature.
Esteban Carreras Creature Feature.
All right, everybody, it's time for the Esteban Carreras. Hey, don't jump the gun, all right? Esteban Carreras Creature Feature. Today we reviewed a real piece of shit.
Hey, don't jump the gun.
Yeah, don't watch this movie. I'm going to tell you right now. Let's go ahead and skip the Creature Feature. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Movies like that make me want to quit doing the Creature Feature.
It was called Frankenstein's Army.
And there are creatures in this.
There's a lot of creatures in it, yeah. So the story of this particular movie, it's one of those found footage.
Oh, did it have a story?
It had a story. It had some story, yeah. It's one of those found footage movies, and this is supposed to take place, during World War II, and the Russians have basically gone on this quest to find. They don't know that they're going on this quest, but they've gone on the quest to find Victor Frankenstein, who's doing all these experiments with downed Nazis to turn them into super soldiers.
Yes. Basically.
And so these guys go out on this.
And he's a direct descendant of the original.
Direct descendant of Victor Frankenstein, and it's it's weird because it's found footage and it's camera. It's like supposed to be film footage, and there's just so many problems with that as a concept.
Footage in the 40s, from the 40s, yes.
Yeah.
With audio and video.
Yes, exactly.
Enough to fulfill a whole movie.
Yep, and they're there's so many plot holes in this movie. It's not even funny, and they always through the exposition or whatever they manage to cover the plot holes, but pretty poorly. My first thought on this is okay. Well, if they're doing 8mm film, let's assume it's 8mm back then.
Right.
8mm reels are like 10-20 minutes tops.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a lot of changing of film. And to change film, you have to physically go in a dark room and change the film, or have a bag or something, unless you have cartridges. Which, the camera that they showed did not have cartridges. So,
what is that? An anachronism.
Yeah,
that's what this camera had to have been.
Yeah, it was a mythological camera that, of course, they even mentioned that I've never seen one like that. I've never. It just audio too. That's amazing.
It was one of a kind.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
Whatever. It's yeah.
Obviously, since it's found footage, you can't, you don't know any of the actors.
Yep, there's one actor, the guy who plays Victor Frankenstein. He's been in quite a bit of stuff.
I meant well-known actors.
Carl Roden is his name, and he was in Born Identity and Hellboy. He was the main Nazi bad guy in Hellboy, so he's played Nazis a lot.
Hellboy?
Yeah, he's in Hellboy.
Oh, Hellboy.
Hellboy.
I was thinking of Hellbaby or whatever.
No, Rock and Rolla, Running Scared, the one from not the one with Billy Crystal, but the one from 2006 with Keanu Reeves. I mean, Paul Walker, same guy.
Paul Walker.
Yeah. The Wrong Man. He's been in quite a bit. He was really the only one that was really kind of a known actor in this. The rest of these guys were pretty much nobodies.
And shall remain so, hopefully.
Yeah. So the reason I recommended, we always, we go back and forth, we recommend these movies to review, and I figured, with the name and the description, it was going to be this really goofy, stupid movie that was going to be fun.
Yes, that's what we were hoping for.
It just really took itself too seriously, and I think that was its biggest downfall.
And I started it about a half hour before Brandon did. So So I texted him about 17 minutes into it and was really hoping he'd say, let's pick something else. But we were up against it. We really didn't know if we were going to have time to get something else. So we went ahead and rode this one out just for you, our loyal listeners. And because you're loyal listeners, avoid this movie.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to explain some of the creations that this Dr. Frankenstein was doing?
Yeah, so basically what he was doing is he's taking these Nazi bits and pieces, like best parts of these Nazis, cutting them together and adding like knives and scissors and stuff as their arms.
Trash can lids.
Trash can, yeah. One of them was like basically a walking pot, I guess, with feet.
There was like a teddy bear body with a human head.
Yeah, it was just really crazy stuff. Okay, basically the way I equated it was like a visualization in film form of BioShock. So if you know the video game BioShock, there's these things in BioShock that were called Big Daddy. And it was basically a guy in a big underwater suit that had like a drill as an arm. It was pretty much that, but a whole bunch of different incarnations of that. So in theory, it could have been cool. The monsters were kind of cool. But the way that it played out, because it was found footage, was more like just a big, giant haunted house.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know...
Because a lot of times the monsters were just going... Rah!
Yeah, so it was like you're looking through the eyes, first person of the guy walking through these halls, and all of a sudden you turn the hall and, oh, there's a monster! And it's right in your face, but yet the monsters never kill this guy. They kill everybody else. They don't kill the guy holding the camera, because I guess the camera has also... Not only is it a mythological camera, but it also has a shield built into it or something, because nobody kills him.
Well, they wanted to be seen on TV. So.
Yeah, I guess he probably... Yeah, and then the other thing was, in the middle of... being chased by these monsters, the film would run out. And they showed this effect several times where the film would run out and it would change color and you'd see it go black and then it would start up again and they're still being chased. It's like, so what was the concept there? He would stop in near-death experience and go, whoa, wait.
Hang on.
I got to change the reel, okay? I'm going to change the reel real quick. Hold on.
Then you can try to kill me.
It might take 5 minutes. Okay, I got it. All right, now you can try and kill me again. It was just ridiculous the way that they did that. It didn't make sense. It really didn't make sense.
It was ridiculous. It was like when I was married, I had my wife had gotten me a gun for Christmas, and it was just the two of us, so we didn't have to worry about kids or anything. So I was going to leave, it was a revolver, so I was going to put 5 shells in it and leave the hammer on the empty chamber and keep it in the house. And she's like, I don't want to load a gun in the house. I'm like, well, what if someone breaks in? What am I going to do? Say, hang on just a second, let me go load my gun so that I can, defend the house. This was the same concept with this cameraman. And I thought about that during the movie.
Yep, pretty much.
Hang on, let me load my gun real quick, and then I'll shoot you.
Yeah, just bad.
Yeah.
Just a bad. And really the last 30 minutes of the movie, once he gets to where he's actually found where they're housing these monsters, played out like walking through a haunted house.
Yes, it did.
It's like every corner there's a monster. It's coming towards you slowly. You're like, you run around the corner. There's another monster. Run down the stairs. There's another monster. It was just nonstop stupidity and just bad. Awful. It was not good.
Let's make a pact that we don't watch that kind of movie ever again.
Yeah, but we don't know, though. There's no way to know.
We need to start looking at trailers so we can see if they're the goofy kinds, if they're the Piranha Chupacabra, the kinds we like to make fun of.
And see, the trailer for this movie looked goofy. It looked stupid. And I was like, so it lied because it was way too serious.
The one I'm dying to do isn't out yet. Avalanche Sharks or Shark Avalanche. Or
that looks that's too stupid for words. That's going to be fun to review.
That is definitely one to review.
Yeah, but this one, wow. Just, avoid at all costs. It's not entertaining, badly acted.
And it made this segment not entertaining.
Yeah. And I mean, what was it you were saying about the language in it and stuff? It's just the way it was written was not even going with the time of the 40s and stuff.
Very anachronistic. That's a big word that I just used. Yeah, they talk like nowadays lingo and dialogue and did they call women stupid bitches in the 40s?
Yeah, I mean the guy was like, what the shiz. It's like he was speaking Snoop Dogg. No, he wouldn't do that, but that would have made it funny. That would have made it funny at least.
So I know, I guess because of the Nazi thing, they had to make it World War II, but they'd have made it Vietnam, probably been a lot more believable as far as the camera and the dialogue and everything, but just bad. I wish they just hadn't made the movie. I saw one that I thought we should have probably watched instead. It was called O Zombie. Have you seen that? It's Osama. No. It's like an Osama bin Laden zombie thing. Oh no.
That might be too bad too. Yeah. But that was one of those Kickstart movies that they put it on Kickstart to get it finished. And
we
they
need
got
to do this, man.
I know. We really need to look into Kickstarter.
Yep. Man, but what you getting on the Kill Bill? Is that in our Esteban Carrera's creature feature?
That was a really short one.
Well, okay, I have an avenue I can take us down.
Okay.
That gets us off this movie, but still maintains some connection to
featureness. Okay.
Where are you on found footage films in general?
I'm not a big fan of found footage films, mainly because my thing with found footage films is if you're filming something and something bad happens, the chances of you still filming it when something bad is happening are slim to none. If I'm with a friend and I'm camping, and all of a sudden a knife-wielding murderer comes out, or someone with a chainsaw and tries to kill me, guess what? The camera's on the floor, and I'm hauling ass out of there. There's no way I'm continuing filming in that situation. It just doesn't make sense to me that would work.
There are a few where it works, where I understand. And I actually tried to do it with this movie, too, when they revealed the one little plot twist that wasn't that great to begin with. But Blair Witch, they were making a documentary. I could see that they would keep filming.
Yeah.
Quarantine was a newsreel. She was doing a news story.
Quarantine was done well. And if you've seen, there's actually a remake of a movie called Record, which is a Spanish horror flick, was really good, too.
Yeah.
Almost like shot-for-shot remake. So.
Right. And then, actually, I think Rec came out first.
Yeah, Rec came out first, then Quarantine, the American version,
Yeah. And so it worked there. I understood them keeping the camera rolling there, although at certain points the chick was like, turn off the fucking camera. But the guy wanted to get the story, so I understood it there. And then there was one called Amber Alert. Mm-hmm. And it's typical what you would think. They see an Amber Alert sign on the highway with the license plate number, and they come up on this car. So they're calling the police. They were filming their vacation. Well, now they're filming, so they want to keep track of the car, and so they can see where the car is located. Because they're not from this area, so they don't know the highways and everything. So I understood them continuing recording then.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. For the most part, it is a
Plus, that's more of I could see that being more of a suspense. It's from the inside of the car shooting somebody else. You're following them.
Yeah.
You're trying to track we need to have proof that this guy's doing this.
Those last two, Quarantine and
Quarantine's a really well done found footage one.
And then Amber Alert was good.
One that I thought was pretty good too was called Chronicle, but it's more of like a superhero type found footage thing, and they do something kind of neat in that one where it kind of skews off the found footage and goes into a floating camera because one of the guys gets telekinesis powers, so he can actually control the cameras. The camera's like floating around him and stuff and recording him in that respect. And that was kind of neat. It did, changed it a little bit. And then I think later even the footage they switch from their footage to the news footage because news is covering it. Mm-hmm. So that was a neat way to do it. And it can be successfully done, but I just think it's one of those genres where you really have to know what you're doing to make it work.
Yeah.
And they didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Have you seen
Frankenstein's
Cloverfield?
Army. Yeah, I like Cloverfield.
I like Cloverfield a lot. I think they should have dropped the camera a couple of times on that one. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, great movie. It's a very good movie.
There's another one, too, that I thought was pretty good found footage movie called Monsters.
I haven't heard of that.
It's a really super independent movie. The guy made it with just with a Canon camera like I have,
mm-hmm.
like a film camera that does video,
mm-hmm.
and put all these great special effects in it. But it was basically about him going to I think Argentina or something because these monsters had invaded from outer space, and that's where they were. So he was going over there to capture the footage and find out what the deal was with them. And that was a pretty cool use of a found footage movie. But there's times in that too where you're like, okay, come on.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Once the intensity kicks up, I think that kind of, I don't mind it when they drop the camera and you see what's happening and then someone picks it up later. That's kind of cool. But
and that was Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Cloverfield did that a lot.
Yeah.
Blair Witch even did that a bit.
Mm-hmm. But in general, I think the found footage things are...
and hopefully it's playing out. I'm getting a little tired of them.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope they kind of do away with it for a while and just let it go.
With something original and then do it.
Or at least, you've only seen that pretty much in the horror genre. I haven't really seen any found footage comedies or dramas or anything like that. So maybe that's the next avenue they'll take.
They died while they were having fun.
Exactly, yeah. Found footage comedy. That'd be
found footage porn.
Yeah, no. That's called first person. You got a ton of that there. There's a whole genre for that.
Yeah.
They're probably doing it before anybody. That's probably where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Guys are watching porn and said, let's make a found footage movie, but without porn. Yeah, no. So Frankenstein's Army is a hardcore pass. I would say if you had to watch it or if it was on Netflix, just pop in the last 20-30 minutes. They're kind of entertaining, see all the weird monsters. But other than that, yeah.
See if you can Google image some of the monsters that way you don't have to watch.
Yeah, that's probably better too, yeah. But not a good flick. So that ends today's creature feature.
Esteban Carrera Cigars. Super premium cigars at a great price. They're scary good.
All right, we're back. Speaking of scary good.
Yep.
Like that segue?
Kill Bill 2 is the delicious cigar.
Very tasty.
Full of spice and leather and earth and just delicious.
I wouldn't say this is complex. I don't put a lot of change in it, but it's just right from the beginning, flavor, and it continues all along.
Yeah, very much so. It's just a great tasting cigar from start to finish, and it's got a lot of flavor. I would consider this a flavor bomb for sure. And this would be an everyday smoke for me if I had $1 million.
If they weren't $8.
Yeah.
$8.25 though for the cigar is very.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a great deal on a box of these, I'd say definitely they're box worthy in my humble opinion. As are most La Palinas. I'm real happy with the brand. They do some great cigars, great construction. Never had one with a bad draw or anything, and they taste great and they're awesome. So I got a little news story for you in reference to the cigar smokers in general.
Yeah.
There was a little buzz on the internet in the forums about the next cover for Cigar Aficionado, and someone had made a very convincing Photoshop of Justin Bieber holding the cigar. And everybody was freaking out, going, "Oh my God, if he's on the cover, I'm going to cancel the magazine." So it did come out. He's not on the cover. Calm down. It's Liev Schreiber, and he's cool. So
he's a great voice actor.
Yep.
I mean, he's a great actor, period, but I don't know if he still does it because I quit watching it, but HBO used to do this, or still does this special called Hard Knocks, where they follow a football team through training camp. And it was pretty good the first 3 or 4 years, but now it's just bad. And so I don't watch it, so I don't know if he still narrates that, but he used to narrate that when I was watching it.
Yep.
What a great voice actor. He just is excellent. And he can draw you into the story and just really make it emotional. He's an impressive actor. I really like him.
Yep, I like him too.
He's married to Naomi Watts, so score for him.
Yeah, he's married to a hottie for sure, and he's just one of those really versatile actors that kind of melds into whatever role he does.
He can do comedy, he can do scary.
He can do it all. Yeah, and he played in one movie. It was a small part. I can't remember what movie it was, but he actually played. I just totally forgot the guy's name. The guy who did Citizen Kane, what's his name? Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
He played Orson Welles in a movie, and I was like, Orson Welles? He can't play Orson Welles. Sounded just like him. I was like, holy crap, he just nailed it.
He's good. Really is.
He's very good.
First time I ever saw him, I saw him in Scream, but I didn't realize he's only had that little tiny part in the first Scream. It wasn't until the later episodes that he started showing up. The first movie we really saw him in was Mixed Nuts, where he played the cross-dresser.
Yeah.
That danced with Steve Martin, one of the funniest scenes, probably the funniest scene in that movie. And so that was the first time I'd ever seen him and found out who he was.
Yeah, that was the first movie that he's listed in. He was listed in a TV movie and then Mixed Nuts.
Okay.
And then he does...
Mixed Nuts came out before Scream.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Then he did Mad Love, Party Girl, Day Trippers, Walking and Talking, Big Night. He was in Big Night. That's a good flick. Sunshine Boys TV movie. Ransom. He was in Ransom. And then Scream.
Ransom.
Yep. Scream 2. Phantoms. He was in Phantoms. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's been in quite a bit. He's a good actor. He's a really good actor. I haven't watched that show. He's got a show on HBO that I haven't even looked at all.
Was he in the Manchurian Candidate? What was
I don't know.
that one?
The movie I was talking about where he played Orson Welles is called RKO 281.
Okay.
And it's a TV movie, actually. He was in Hamlet, Scream 3, Leopold and Kate and Leopold, Sum of All Fears.
So he was in
Manchurian Candidate.
Oh,
he was,
okay.
Yeah. Yep.
The remake, obviously, not
the remake of The Omen. He was in that as well, which actually that wasn't a bad remake.
I don't think I've seen that. I don't even think I knew that it came out.
One I liked with him a lot was called Defiance. It was him and the new James Bond, and that was a good World War II thing, or World War I, one of the two. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, it was a good flick.
Always working,
and it's got a lot of depth.
Probably doesn't have a lot of paparazzi following him, so he can live a normal life.
Yep, he's not one of those actors that really is kind of like I guess I wouldn't say he's A-list, but he's constantly working and he does good projects. He picks good stuff. So
yes, he does.
Got to give him props for that.
Yep, and as I said, he's married to Naomi Watts.
Banging a hottie. Extra points. Yep.
Good for you, Lee.
So you guys had a good turnout for this event. How many people are in here?
I don't know. We had like 30-something on our RSVP list.
And more than that showed up.
Yeah.
Well,
we had several walk-ins.
Yep. And great beers at the event, too.
Yeah, I had that IPA that they made.
Yeah, it's like an orange.
I'm not a big IPA guy, but that's solid. There's nothing
good stuff.
wrong with that.
Very orangey and fruity and yummy. And then I just have the, where'd it go? I have one. Here it is.
Yep.
The 4 Bullets, which one is this?
I'm having the brown.
It's a brown, but they call it something. There's a name for it. It's like the Blackjack, I think.
Something like
that. The one?
Blackjack,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Yep.
Deliciousness.
Matt's turning on the World Series. So.
Oh, excellent. Cool. All right, so that ends we already ended the Creature Feature. We're going to go ahead and end this segment, and we'll come back with the guys from La Palina. Let them talk to us a little bit about...
No, with Noels Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with the Noels Brothers talking about their craft brew. All right, everybody. What? Dick.
He's a dick.
You're a dick. All right, everybody, we're back for the final segment of today's podcast. And as always, you can find us on iTunes, Podomatic, Stitcher now. This is a new one. Yep. Stitcher's a new one. So you can get us on Stitcher. iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. What he said. Repeat what I say, that's fine.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of places for people to hear us.
So right now we have the Noels Brothers.
We have a couple of guests.
Yep.
With Scott Noels and his brother Brian Noels, and they are the owners and founders of Noels Brothers Craft Brewing. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Scott's a longtime customer here at the Calypso Cigar Shop. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
He stops coming in when we run out of the La Serena. We have to wait until we get them back.
La Serena cigars are a great cigar.
That's your jam,
What do you think of these La Palinas?
Yeah, those are good.
What do you think of these La Palinas so far? They're good, aren't they?
I like the La Palinas. That's another tasty cigar. I like the Brazilian flavor that they've got going on there.
Yeah, Brazilian wrapper.
A nice, tasty cigar.
It's good smoke.
That's the first time I've had La Palina. That's pretty good.
Good deal. So, how long have you guys been in business? Why don't you give us a little history of KBCB?
KBCB, there you go. We've been brewing now for about 7 years, roughly, and having fun with it, trying to experiment with some recipes to get it out there and make some perfection on them. Okay. What we've got going on right now is probably 6 staple recipes. One of those being called the Lady in Red, which is a rye ale. It's got a nice pepper to it. It's got some melanoidin grain in it that adds to the complexity of it. And it's a great beer. It's fairly small. I think it normally falls in about 8.5%, 9%. We'll call that a small beer.
Wow.
We do like good big beers. Tell them.
Yeah. What are you usually, about 11%, 12%?
Say again?
What's your usual alcohol content, 11?
We like to brew the bigger beers. I mean, we like to average somewhere between 8 and 11 normally. When you get into the 4%, you might as well drink a Coors Light or maybe a Bud Light.
Yeah.
And we try to avoid that. That's kind of what we dump.
Yeah.
And, that's what we water our yard with. And
bratwurst
and
we're going to try to make one day.
We'll eventually make one. Somewhere in the 6 or 7 range.
Yeah.
But some of our staples, what we have is what we call a Lady in Red. It has a rye grain to it, so there's kind of a spicy bite to it. A little bit of pepper maybe in the background. It's actually a really good beer. Then we also have another one of our staples. It's called the Hot Freakness. It's part of our music series, where the name comes from Black Keys. They have an album called The Thick Freakness. We kind of played off of that just a little bit because we like the Black Keys when we're brewing. Get a little jam going on and have a good time with it. Having a cigar with it from Calypso. And you come in and get your cigars and set up for a brew day. And so this Hot Freakness, it's a black IPA. And it comes in around 9%, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And it's got a beautiful roast to it. It's got the hops up front, which is the Hot Freakness side of it. But then it finishes off with this nice roast behind it, and it's a real easy drink, but it's a big beer. So having 2 or 3, maybe 4, okay, 5. We'll call it 6. Somewhere in there, it's a good drinking day, right?
Yeah.
And, you gotta finish the cigar, and you gotta wash it down with a good beer, right?
Hell yeah.
And then on top of that, we've actually got what we call the hashtag, which is kind of one of our signature beers, actually. It's out there for the Dallas brew scene. Jordan Moon and Matt Dixon are a couple of guys that are promoting the Dallas brew scene out there, of everybody throughout Dallas and Fort Worth, supporting them and promoting them, of where you can find these beers either in the bars or in the stores. New TABC approval for their labels. They do a really good job on that. So we've done a tribute beer to them, which we call the hashtag. And it's an Imperial IPA. Like I said, it sits around 9%. And it's a delicious beer as well. So that's another one of our staples. And then on top of that, we have our award winner, which is called the Little Red Rooster. This past year at the Brew Riot down in Bishop Arts District, we won first place American Amber Ales with this one.
Nice.
And then third place overall ales. And ales is a large category.
Hell yeah.
And here we are getting third place in that. You know, it's like, hell yeah, we'll take that.
Congratulations.
Oak Highlands did really well this past year at the Brew Riot. Moxnick's Brewery did really well as well. Actually, in regards to Moxnick's Brewery, back in Labor Day, this past Labor Day, Deep Ellum Brewery supported a event called the Labor of Love. This was their second one. They want to do it every year. This past time around, which was their second time, Moxnick's won Best in Show.
Oh wow!
And so their Deep Ellum is actually offering to brew that particular recipe for them and put it out commercially.
Nice.
So hopefully this coming Labor Day, you know, it's about a year away at this point in time, but around Labor Day this coming year, Deep Ellum will be brewing Moxnick's recipe and putting it out commercially. So you should be able to find it in your local bars and possibly even getting it in stores.
That's great.
So it's a fun industry that we're in right now. It's expanding. It's blowing up.
Let me ask you this, because I'm in Dallas, and I'm not that big of a beer guy. I like beer. I'm more of a whiskey guy.
Sure.
But it seems like this craft brewing thing is just exploding, as you've mentioned. Now, is Dallas at the forefront of this, or is this just happening in every big city?
Well, Dallas right now is probably one of the upcoming beer cities.
Yeah.
It's Austin also, and Texas, but Texas is as a whole is becoming more of a craft beer scene, and really trying to run off the big guys like Budweiser, Miller, Coors. You know, trying to, because they've had their time here, and it's time for them kind of to let room for the craft breweries to expand. And you know, it seems like there's room for new breweries all over. You go up north and there's a brewery on every corner. Yeah. And that's kind of like what we'd like to see here. But as far as where Dallas is right now, there are quite a few breweries. And they're really good. But I think you're going to see more over the next several years.
Right. We also have the Four Bullets guys here. You guys had an encounter at an event or something, didn't you?
Four Corners?
Four Bullets.
Four Bullets.
Jeff and Drew over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Four Bullets was actually at the Labor of Love, and this past year at Deep Ellum, and we tried some of their beers and had some more of them today.
They're real good. The brown ale's real good.
They've got a really great English brown ale.
Yeah.
They've also got a great pale ale.
Yeah.
But they're doing really good as well. It's kind of interesting speaking with them because they also have the ambition and the inspiration of actually opening up into the commercial world and trying to make that happen.
Well, we're pulling for all you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good stuff.
You can tell that the big guys are definitely taking a hit from the microbrews because they're putting out their own under different names.
You're right.
And man, those are, you can tell.
Black Crown.
Yeah.
Okay. All you've done is change the label. It's still Budweiser.
It still tastes like shit. Come on, guys.
They're also buying out. Like if you do well, they're trying to buy you out.
Buy you out to shake it down?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they bought out. They bought out Celis Brewing in Texas was a great brewery in the Hill Country, and Miller Brewing bought them out and shut it down.
Wow.
And now they're just now coming back in Michigan.
Wow. It's crazy. It's the Walmart effect.
So you got to watch out for the big guys. That's kind of their strategy.
Yep. So for those of you guys out there that like the microbrews and different beers, do your research before you buy those new ones that come out. If there's any kind of real big marketing push behind it, chances are it's Coors or Miller.
Yeah.
One of those guys pushing something that they made that it's not going to be a microbrew.
No. Yeah,
what I like about the microbrewing is it's very similar to the cigars we like as well. We tend to like the boutique cigars more so than your Macanudo and Romeo and Juliet.
It's so much different flavor in the microbrews. Like IPAs are just so complex, and you can do so much with them. And from what I understand, they're actually easier to brew. Is that correct?
They're a common brew. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't say they're easier to brew.
Okay.
I mean, there's a challenge in all brews that you may do, especially on the microbrewing level.
challenge to make them taste the same every time.
Yeah.
The consistent quality is
That's
the
one thing
challenge.
Budweiser does well. They make that.
It's consistently average.
Shitty. You had consistently shitty. Yeah. I can't tell you the last time I had just a standard like a Miller or something like just.
Oh, man.
I was at a bar, and the only thing tolerable, and the only reason why I say it's tolerable because I used to drink it back in the day, was they had MGD. That was the best beer they had on their on their
that's
list. So
horrible.
I was like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so I have had
It's
one
rough.
like recently.
I like iced tea also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably rather drink or get a shot
You
of
know.
something if there's a
Yeah,
shot.
get a
Give me
shot.
No, all they sold was beer and Chablis. Not even like
Fine,
regular
a
wine.
fine champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys drink besides your own stuff? Obviously.
Well,
man.
we enjoy like Stone. Stone is
Stone.
a hugely innovative brewer.
Yeah. Founders.
Founders of in Michigan.
They're
you've got Russian
inspiration
River.
to us.
Right.
We call it research and development.
Yeah.
Research and development is huge in the Noels Brothers craft brewing arena. And, it's great to be able to taste other brewers' beers to see what they're doing and see what people are open to. I mean, you've got people that are actually out there in the spice world or chili beer world that like that. Like, for example, Ballast Point, they've got some Sculpin,
Oh, yeah, that's a great
which is a habanero Sculpin that
San
they put
Diego.
out. San Diego is huge in different challenging type of beers. But this habanero Sculpin, they've actually put habanero in that beer. And you drink it, and it's got the heat to it from that habanero. And what do you want? You want more beer to wash it down.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Pretty genius.
you got the heat from it, so drink some more beer.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Founders. They're doing some challenging things. For example, the Breakfast Stout, which is an inspiration of one of our beers that we have here today.
Very inspiring club beer.
It's got the coffee and the chocolate to it.
Yeah.
Well, we've been inspired by that and done our own fling on it, to where not only do you have the chocolate and the coffee, but also in the background you'll get some vanilla and some caramel as well.
Kona coffee.
It adds to that complexity of that particular beer.
That was great too. We had some of that.
Yeah, I had some of that today, and big fan of that. And you mentioned that it's a little young, and as it ages, you're going to get more of that chocolate coming out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be a great bottle to put back, for this Thanksgiving and Christmas, but also for about 5 years from now. It would be an amazing beer.
Really?
A stout like that ages really. A big stout ages well.
Okay, I got a question for you, and it's been bugging me. And it's one of the things that Coors and Miller and those guys do.
Yeah.
They have the born on date. What the hell is that about, and why do you want fresh beer?
Okay. Well, okay.
some
That's a
beers
great
are
example,
fresh.
or a great question. So, for example,
Finally,
our double
Brandon.
IPA that we have here today, the IPA that we're serving today is called the Blitzkrieg Hop. You might have heard of the Ramones called Blitzkrieg Bop.
Blitzkrieg Bop, yeah.
Okay, we kind of
Part of
played
the
on
music
top of that
series.
with a Blitzkrieg Hop, right?
Nice.
It's part of our music series.
Okay.
So with that, you want to serve that fairly young because as it ages, the hops will actually fade out.
Yeah.
To where there's not the bitter in there and not the tropical and the citrus that you get.
Yeah.
It just fades out a little bit. So you want to drink that fairly young. Basically within about 6 weeks of that born on date that you refer to. Where in
You want that
contrast
to be
to that,
gone by then.
right, in contrast to that, the breakfast stout that we have here today, which we're just calling it the KBCB breakfast stout,
Yes.
is one of those that ages well. So in time, that coffee that's really prominent in this
Yeah.
particular serving will mellow out a little bit, and it'll add to the complexity, as well as bring out the chocolate that's in there. There's over 5 pounds of baker's chocolate, over 5 pounds of cocoa nibs in this particular one, as well as a little over 2 pounds of different coffees. There's a Sumatra coffee in the brew process, and then in the secondary process, there's a Kona coffee, about a half pound. So that's why the coffee is really up front. As that
that'll fade
ages,
back.
that will fade back, and then the complexity of the the chocolate will come out. So something we're going to do with this particular one is we've actually got some set back for a bourbon barrel aged as well. So you can get that oak and you can get that bourbon in there.
vanilla from the
Woodford bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful bourbon.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's nice and mellow, and so we have some set back for that we're gonna age, and around Christmas time this year, serving that out as well.
And you'll be dropping Calypso off some
Yeah, we need
Christmas
to.
presents.
I was gonna say, is it wrong that I want to drink that with a side of pancakes and some bacon?
Oh, man.
Oh, dude,
Perfect.
It's a breakfast
I drink
stout.
in the
You can
morning.
drink it morning,
I like to
evening,
drink in
or
the morning.
afternoon. It doesn't matter.
I'm gonna do that this Christmas.
Yes.
That's gonna be-
There you go.
KBCB, we already know what they're getting us for Christmas.
Right.
Well, guys, good luck to you, man. We appreciate you being
that.
here. This was
Well,
fun.
we really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Y'all can follow Noels Brothers Craft Brewing on Facebook.
Yep.
That's primarily where we are out there publicly.
Okay.
We're also on Twitter.
Okay. What's your
at
Twitter?
K-Bros Craft Brew.
Yeah.
You can find us on Twitter as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically what we're trying to do is get our name out there right now so that we can not only give you free beer. Did I say that
Free.
once? Did I say it twice?
How much was it?
Free beer. And so on top of that, we want feedback on our beers so that we know you like that, you don't like this, you want something different. We'll do something different because what we're about is craft brewing.
Yep.
And
Okay.
craft brewing doesn't mean that it's all the same old thing like Budweiser wants to put out there.
Right.
We're trying to make something different. And so if you like the cinnamon, if you like the vanilla, if you like the hops or the tropical or the fruit, that's what we're all about. So follow us along on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter.
Yep.
And keep up with us because we're doing several different public events. We have a couple of different cigar events coming up. Hopefully some more with Calypso along the way. But also we have competitions that we enter that are also publicly available, such as Blue Bonnet, which is in February, March time frame. We have Brew Right, which is in May time frame. And again at the Labor of Love around Labor Day. So check us out. Here we are. We love to give away our beer.
Yeah.
Okay, you can also check in our beers on Untapped. It's a great little software program. It's an app. There's an app for that.
Right.
It's where you can check in our beers as well. And it allows you to actually provide comment on those beers.
Yeah, you put your tasting notes,
Tasting
take
notes
a
and
picture
what
of the
you think
beer.
about it. Tell us where you are. Tell us where you're taking KBCB. We also have swag, T-shirts, stickers, pint glasses, whatnot.
Cool.
But also out there, we'd also like to. Can I give a shout out?
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to give it a little shout out to Fish Fry Bingo, Dan Benjamin, which we love, and also Shotgun Friday with Tony Drury. There's a couple of great guys that are also out there in addition to the Dallas brew scene as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
So follow us along, see where we go, come along with us, try our beers, tell us what you like. We'll be more than happy to brew it up.
Cheers.
Great.
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers, gentlemen.
I'm empty, but I'll cheers you anyway.
Cheers.
I'm on cheers. Yeah. That IPA was darn tasty.
I appreciate
It was
that.
really, really good.
Good
I love
stuff.
the orange. Well, awesome.
We love to drink it.
Yes.
I appreciate
So
it,
once
sir.
again, guys, thanks and good luck to you.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much.
appreciate it.
We're going to have another immediate guest real quick, aren't we?
Event. So we do actually have Andrew Brennan and Paul Costo from La Palina here with us to tell us a little bit about the history of La Palina and what they're doing today at the show and a little bit about their cigars. How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you guys?
Having a
Doing
good time.
well. Doing well. We're
fantastic.
smoking the Kill Bill 2.
Yep. I think I finished mine. Well, mostly finished. Mostly.
I've been nursing mine. It's still a great cigar. Highly
You nurse it
recommend
about an inch down there. You got to Kill Bill 1.
Exactly. So, how long? So I'm assuming, Andrew, you've been with the company longer than Paul.
I have. I've been with the company for the last year. Just last October, I joined the company. The company, in its most current version, has been around since late 2009, 2010. So, 3 to 4 years. The company originally was founded in 1896 by a guy named Sam Paley, actually in Chicago at the Congress Cigar Factory. They moved it to Philadelphia in 1910, which at the time, that's kind of where all the machine-made cigars were being rolled. La Palinas were rolling 1 million machine-made cigars a day at that point in time.
Wow.
Which is kind of a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Sam Paley's son, William Paley, graduated from Wharton Business School, joined the company as vice president of marketing, and decided to spend $100 of the company's money on radio advertising, which at the time was kind of a risky move. Nobody really knew how to use radio in the sense of advertising. Mm-hmm. It did very well and doubled sales, so they continued to do it and ended up buying the radio station. They bought 18 more radio stations and liquidated the cigar company in the mid-20s and created Columbia Broadcasting Systems.
Wow. I've heard of them.
Yeah. They're a small little company out there.
Yeah. They have a couple of shows that people watch.
Yeah, I think so.
La Palina went on to be made, we lost track of it like in the 60s, but it was, as a brand, still produced in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. 4 years ago, Bill Paley Jr., he's not technically a junior, but Bill Paley Jr. decided to buy back his grandfather's cigar company, and he bought back the trademarks and copyrights and has rebuilt his grandfather's cigar company. So it's kind of two versions of La Palina. So the most recent, we've been around about 3 or 4 years.
Yep, and doing very well, getting lots of accolades out there. I mean,
yeah, the last year or so has been real nice. We've got some nice product, and it's been rated very highly for the most part. Cigar Aficionado last year gave us the number 19 cigar of the year for the Kill Bill. We're getting a lot of great feedback on social media, on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. A lot of shops are calling us and bringing us in, and it's been very nice lately.
Well, you can thank this gentleman. He gave me and Matt a Kill Bill.
Yep, I introduced him to you guys.
Thank you.
And
you're welcome.
Within a week, I think Matt was on the phone.
But that's how it works, though. That's what's great about this industry is you share it with people, and they try new things, and they're like, "Holy crap, I gotta have this!" So,
and then Cigar Journal gave it. It got the U.S. Cigar of the Year in Cigar Journal last year.
Right. So we've got a limited cigar that we've done 2 releases of. One in 2012, the Goldie number 2. Liguito number 2, and then our second release was the Liguito number 5, and that cigar has been extremely successful for the brand. Cigar Journal gave it Best American-Made Cigar of the Year last year in 2012. It's rolled in Miami at El Titan de Bronze factory. They do a phenomenal job down there. Very small, family-owned business, and they're just phenomenal what they do.
It's funny, we had the folks from Ezra Zion on.
Yeah, absolutely. Great guys.
And as they were leaving, they noticed that we had a box of the Goldies, or 2 boxes of Goldies. And
they're big fans.
They
told us that.
They were actually in our office a couple weeks ago in D.C., man. They're great guys.
They are cool dudes. But, so Paul, you're recently with?
Yeah, I've been just a little over a month ago started with them.
Yeah. And big change?
Yeah, it's actually a refreshing change being with a real small company and having an opportunity to start from almost ground up. I know they've been around 3 years, but it's really been underrepresented in this area. So I'm having a lot of success getting it out there and putting it in people's hands.
Well, I'll tell you what. Out of all the cigars I smoked in the last year, you're the only company that I've smoked pretty much every single cigar I've smoked from you guys. I've just been blown away by. And they're great
cool.
cigars.
Thank you.
Great cigars.
That's very cool.
We haven't talked about the Maduro. The Maduro's excellent.
Yeah, Maduro's really good.
The Maduro's been picking up. We released that before I joined the company. They released it in Orlando's trade show in 2012. And over the last, I want to say 6 to 7 months, going back maybe like April, May, that Maduro line really started to pick up steam, and we're seeing a lot of movement in there. This year at the trade show, we released the Maduro 40, which is the same size as the Kill Bill 2, a 6x40. And it just smokes unbelievable. It's so smooth and rich. It's a beautiful size. It's a beautiful, beautiful size.
Gonna have to try that one.
Yeah, we'll have to get that one for sure. And I still want to try Goldie, man. I still haven't had a Goldie. I'm dying to try one of those.
You better get them now because they're gone.
I know. That's what I hear.
See them,
I have that one box, and he says, I think Matt will sell me one. I'm like, he might not. He might just sit on him.
Pretty hard to get. Yeah. So was there any plans for another version of that? Is that going to be a yearly release?
Of the Goldie?
Yeah.
Goldie, we are planning on doing like a single release every year. The blend will be the same as the last 2. And it will be a different Liguito size.
Okay.
Liguito's the name of the factory in Cuba that produced the Cohibas, that Maria, who rolls them, rolled that.
Okay.
So those sizes are traditional Liguito sizes. We have not decided what the third size is going to be yet. There were a few options that Bill, Courtney, and I were discussing. So, really, it's all up to Bill that day what he decides he wants to do. So.
Yeah. So we kind of told the story about the where the KB name came from, the Kill Bill. So can you give us?
Yeah, absolutely. Bill has been a long-time cigar smoker and traditionally smokes Cuban cigars. He typically likes mild and medium flavored cigars, medium-bodied cigars. He's not a full-bodied cigar guy at all. And a couple years ago when they first sent samples up of the Kill Bill, the Petite Corona and the El Diario. It was a little bit young, you know, and the tobacco was a little strong, and it hadn't mellowed yet, and it just blew them away, and it almost killed them. So they decided to go ahead and name that the Kill Bill.
It's a great story.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Quentin Tarantino gets $1 from each cigar now.
Bill has actually tried to reach out to Quentin Tarantino to make sure there's no hard feelings or any legal action, and he jokes around that he has sent some cigars to California.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was joking or if he has, but we have had no problems legally.
Who knows if they actually made it to California because they got such strict rules over there?
No doubt. That could be.
NSA. You got him.
No doubt.
But that's pretty cool.
Do you guys have a personal favorite in the line? What's your everyday smoke that you smoke from the line?
I smoke more of the classics, our La Palina Classic, which is kind of interesting to me because I typically have smoked in fuller-bodied cigars. Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of years with Lito Gomez and La Flor Dominicana and smoked a lot of full-bodied cigars with the Airbenders and LGs, and so my profile was mostly that. And what I find I'm smoking more of is the La Palina Classics, which is more of a mild to medium blend. Yep. It's got so much flavor, and we just released a size a few months ago, Corona, in that, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, we reviewed the Lancero.
Yeah, we were pretty surprised because we've only smoked, and I smoked the El Dario, the Kill Bill 1, the Kill Bill 2, and they're all really full-bodied, and I was like, it's totally different, but you have to have that in your line, though.
It's not a strong cigar by any means, but it's got a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah, just a ton of flavor.
The Lancero's been real popular. I know Paul likes that size.
Phenomenal.
We're huge Lancero guys.
Yeah. But the Robusto taste, I mean, it's different, its own taste. It really does. I mean, it's a totally different profile. It's great.
I've been smoking a lot of those Coronas lately, I guess.
Yeah.
And I smoke a shitload of Goldies, which is probably why you guys can't get them.
Thanks.
This
guy's dying for one.
I know, right?
I got bundles of them at home. I don't know why you guys can't get them.
I've had a total of one.
I will have one. I will have one someday.
Similar to Steve Saka back when the Liga shortage was going on. You know, he still had it.
Well,
oh yeah.
He did not have a shortage. I'd rather sell them. So
yeah.
Oh man. So, what other new stuff you got? Can you guys give us any hints about what's coming out, or any even breaking news?
I mean, you know, we're focusing on finishing a strong year for us, sales-wise. So you're not going to see anything new. You know, the rest of the year is only 2.5 months or so left. So next year we're probably going to look at maybe doing another release of our Mr. Sam cigar in some form. We released it at the show, and it's a phenomenal cigar. I love that cigar. I smoke more of those. That should have been my answer, but we only made 850 boxes of it, which even when you're talking about cigar limited releases,
that's very limited.
You know, 8,500 cigars for a release is extremely small.
Yeah.
So that cigar kind of got lost because it was so small. So, but the feedback we did get was real strong. So we're going to look at doing something maybe that size, or maybe a new size, or something with that blend. So we're going to probably do something with that, and next year at the show, hopefully we're going to do something maybe like a full-bodied cigar with one of our factories that we're already playing with.
Was the Mr. Sam, was that like a IPCBR exclusive? Like you had to go to the show to get into that?
You know what? We never said that, but it sold out in 2 days of the show, so if you weren't there, you didn't get it.
And speaking of this Mr. Sam, I know we ordered it. I checked it in. And when I was pulling out all the La Palina stuff, it's not there, so I think Matt's got that stashed away.
I'm sure he does.
Possible.
Hey, that's the benefits of owning a B&M.
Yeah, it was tough because like I said, there was only 850 boxes, so we had to kind of limit who we sold it to and where, because a lot of times with a release like that, you'll end up selling it to 5 or 6 shops, you know, that really want to make a move on it, and you know, it's very flattering and great, but when you're trying to build a brand, you really want to spread that around to shops that are supporting you and consumers that are supporting you.
Yeah.
So when you have such a small production, it does make it tough to kind of spread that love around.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we're definitely looking forward to what you guys put out next year. I'm a big fan of the brand, and I'm in love with it, man. I can't say enough good things about it. I tell everybody about it, and when I was into those Kill Bill 2s, man, I was handing them out like just, you know, I killed myself that I was handing them out because they're not a cheap cigar. But, you know, these guys loved it, and they brought it in, and I had a couple other friends that hooked on it, and it's just a great overall cigar.
Thank you.
We
Keep handing them out.
Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Best
Very
of luck
nice.
next year. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
It's great.
Thank you.
Now we have shout-outs.
Oh, we have shout-outs. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and let you guys get out of here.
We'll let them get out of here.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Off of YouTube, Jeff Hirschauer, of course.
Shout-outs.
Corey D.
Corey D.
Thank you, Corey. From Twitter, we've got Manitude, which we'll have to tell everyone what that is on a future episode.
Yeah.
Arto Cuban Cigars. Habanos CF.
Okay.
CA. I can't read my writing. Matt Sherman is following us. We don't even carry those cigars.
Awesome.
Rebellious Cigar. This isn't really people. These are, but we said we'd give you a shout out. Flicks and Food. It looks like a lady that does movie and food reviews on Twitter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then a guy named Red Iglesias.
I wonder if he's related to the.
Now his starts with a Y.
Oh, never mind.
So maybe Iglesias. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, there you go, guys. Appreciate it. Once again, if you comment on YouTube, iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, whatever else, Podomatic, and we will give you the shout out.
Yep, and as always, you want to follow us on Podomatic, go over to iTunes and give us the 5-star review. That helps us get more exposure out on iTunes, and we'd hope to get to where we're one day placed in the showcase level, so we definitely need those reviews there. 5-star reviews would be great. And, put a little comment there. Let us know what you think about the show. Also, subscribers on YouTube, go to YouTube and subscribe. You'll get all of our videos each week.
Yes.
And don't forget Facebook, Twitter, Podomatic, and now Stitcher. So if you are a Stitcher follower and you got the app on your iPhone, you can add us to the Stitcher, and you'll get us every week there as well.
And don't forget to buy La Palina Cigars and go on Facebook and Twitter and check out KBCB Beer.
And four bullets.
And four bullets.
All right, so as always, it's been great smoking with you.
See you later, Brandon.
See you later, Randy. I'm cutting that out. I'm just going to stop with the nice smoking with you.